Welcome to the Celebrate Brave podcast. I'm Nicole Steinbach, your host and the International Bravery Coach for Women in Tech. I serve women all over the world to earn more money, create more opportunities, and thrive in the tech industry because tech needs all of us. Are you ready? Let's go. Hello, brave people. Welcome to this episode. Thank you for your time. So, I'm doing something fun today. This is going live during winter break. For some of us, we're celebrating Christmas. Some of us are celebrating Hanukkah. Some of us are celebrating Kwanzaa. And then there is just, I think, 200 other celebrations during this time. And for me, a hard earned lesson is resting during times of celebrations. So, what I decided to do was to pick up one of my earliest episodes and do a wraparound for that. Because, like all of us, and this is actually the topic of this episode, like all of us, every time I do something for the first time, it's awkward, right? And then the more I think about it, the more I experience it, the cleaner, the clearer, the more impactful, the more effective I become. And so the message in an earlier episode called Catch the Bunny is a really important message. And I just want to make sure you have the opportunity to hear how I've grown, how this message has improved, but also that you, more importantly, that you get the message. So here's the message. The first time we do something, anything, it really sucks. And we think that every time is going to really suck. But in reality, we get better every single time. So in this episode, I share a story about my dog. He's amazing. You can see tons of pictures of him on my social media. I share an example from him about this message for you. So for him, he is, well, you're going to hear it in the episode, so I'm not going to repeat it. But here's the thing. Think back. This is what I want you to do. I want you to imagine yourself as an 18-year-old and imagine that 18-year-old, even if you're 20, even if you're 30, 40, 50, whatever, imagine that 18-year-old looking at you and what you do in your daily work. Look at you from her perspective. It's damn impressive, right? It's damn impressive. And if you ask that 18-year-old you to do what you do in your job every day, she'd suck at it. But here you are doing large parts with grace and with ease, with skill that she couldn't imagine. So what I want you to reflect on in this message is how before we've done something, before we've built the skill, it seems impossible. It seems so massive to write our first resume, to write our first executive resume, to interview for a job in some other country, to move our family across the world, to negotiate contractual agreements with a vendor, to sell not a tech product, but a tech suite, to set the strategy for an entire client base rather than one client, to support a known, a tried and true tech product into the brand new product for brand new clients. It seems impossible. And you do it the first time and it's awful. I mean, some of the exec resumes that I see are awful. That's okay. Listen to this episode and hear how unclear I was on the message. And then hear how clear I've become in just a year, less than a year. And then once we've done something, we've created version 0 of our exact resume. We've created the very first strategy for that product suite or that product. We've stepped into that scrum master role for the very first time and we didn't do a great job. Look, every single time after that is more skilled, it's more calm, it's more confident. Just like my dog and the bunnies. So, quick update. You're going to hear this story, but quick update. Since I recorded this, he has become so confident. He caught a magpie bird. He got the tail of a squirrel and a ton of mice. Unfortunately, a few rats, which is not so nice. And I have to be so careful with the bunnies. And so listen to this episode and reflect on that 18-year-old you, and then step into your brave and imagine yourself 20 years in the future. Go catch the bunny. Till next time. Today, I want to tell you a story about my dog. My dog is the best. And recently he surprised himself and the entire family because he caught a rabbit. Okay, I have a dog. I think he's coming up on 3, maybe 3 years old. Obviously, I love this dog because I am so on it. I really do love this dog. He is so he's called a Doxador, and they tell us he is part Labrador, so glorified American mutt, which kind of sums me up, and a Dachshund, which is a German dog, low to the ground. Sometimes they're called wiener dogs. They've been bred to do this specific thing. They hunt ducks. I can't remember what a dux is right now, even though I speak German, and I probably should have looked this up, but it's a little creature that's in the ground. You know, my husband is like through and through and through and through German and has all these skills. So we joke that he totally fits our family because he is absolutely freaking adorable. And he weighs about 30 pounds because we let him get real fat, which is part of the story. He's totally black except for a tiny little bit of sprinkling of white around his mouth and a white bottom, like a little on his chest and into his little belly. His name is Lakritz, and Lakritz means black licorice. Black licorice is basically my favorite. Shout out to my aunts, my mom, my Nana for having faith in me that I would catch up and that I would fall in love with licorice. I did. I'm a little picky about licorice because once you have the fresh stuff, oh my goodness, it is the best. Okay. Sometimes it's called anise in various places when it's fresh, but licorice, black licorice. When you get fresh licorice, it has this little, it's like a sugar bottom so it doesn't stick. So isn't that perfect for my dog? He's like this cute little Doxador, weighs about 30 pounds, totally black except for this white on his chest and his belly and a tiny little bit around his mouth. It's like the best name ever, ever, ever. So now that I've talked way too much about my dog, here's why I'm actually talking about my dog. So he caught a rabbit. I mentioned that we had let him get too fat. To quote our amazing veterinarian, he was just over short and under tall. So he has been on a diet for, I don't know, 6 months or something. since we're all like consistently sent home, of course, I have two little ones, my husband, and I'll be honest, myself as well. We sneak him little treats. So he is on a diet. This is not a crash diet. We're doing this in a sustainable lifestyle choice. Okay, but he has lost weight. He really has. He's lost a good amount of weight. There is an open space relatively close to where I live. There it's all fenced in. There are all these bunnies. Like, I'm not talking like baby bunnies. I'm talking like small rabbits. And, he's been a bit fat and a bit hesitant. While he has enjoyed chasing said bunnies, he had never caught one. So we go for this walk a couple of weeks ago. He catches a bunny. He catches a bunny. I was so shocked. I was on the phone with my best friend who's going to be a guest really soon because her bravery story is kick ass. And I was so shocked. I didn't know what to say. And it's not because my shock had nothing to do with, oh my God, there's a dead animal. I mean, I raised pigs to eat them for years. I've been hunting. I get it, right? There's another episode where I go on and on about the glory of meat. Animals eat animals. It's just part of life. But the fact that my dog, who never had a chance in hell of catching a bunny, caught the bunny. What? And why on earth does this relate to you? So, first of all, he had to skill build. My dog had to fail a bunch of times. He has been chasing bunnies and chasing squirrel and chasing bird. Okay, one time he did catch an injured bird when we were camping. But that that was a oh, actually, no, let's not reject that, Nicole. Let's bring that into the story. There was this injured bird. He captured it and he brought it to us, and he was so proud. Oh my gosh, he was so proud. And I think that that gave him that initial, like, hey, this is an opportunity. I feel it in my soul. He's a dog. He hunts things. He's literally a hunting dog. He's a dachshund and a Labrador. I mean, hello. And then he had that first initial win, which, oh my gosh, I totally disregarded. You just heard me have this breakthrough like, wait, that was a win for him. Wow, does that hit into the story? Because you are going to have little wins that other people also say, oh, that's just an injured bird. Oh, this is something I heard recently. I'm so glad you got the promotion. Of course, you earned it. Of course, you earned it. It's just the perfect timing because they need a lot more women engineers. So, congratulations. Anybody else have rage in their throat? Back to my dog. So he had this experience that I disregarded, but I'm sure he was like, oh my gosh, this is great. And my response to the person sharing with me, hey, I got that promotion, but this is what I heard, was like, we're going to focus on the fact that you got the promotion, that you freaking earned it, and that this is an opportunity for you to focus on what matters. So my dog, back to the rabbit story, since he caught this bunny, he is a dog with a mission. I have to really hold him back. He knows he can catch the rabbit. He knows that he's had that experience, and he knows he can build on it. And this is what I want to share with you. First of all, your initial wins, additional learning, folks, including myself, might write those off, and it's up to you to hold on to them. And number two, once you build the skill, you have the skill forever. Once you build the experience, you have that experience forever. My dog had to fail a lot. He's a dog. He didn't beat himself up about it. He's a dog. He fails. On my way in my journey, oh my goodness, did I quote unquote fail a lot? Oh my gosh. Recently, for a coach, I refreshed my failure list. It was stunning how many things just in the last year I have quote unquote failed on. And then I went through, this is a mindfulness exercise I learned when my daughter was like maybe a year old. So 6, 7 years ago, something like that. I went through all these failures and then I wrote down what I had learned immediately or over time. And there were a handful of actual failures where I didn't take a learning, where I didn't take an experience. I just crashed and stood up and did the stupidity again. I didn't catch the rabbit. And there are other times, the vast majority of times, that when I, from the outside, failed, I actually caught a bunny. I caught a bunny because I learned something. And then I went and I tried in a different, bigger, smaller, faster, slower, deeper, less sophisticated, more sophisticated way. And then other people could see me catching the bunny. Other people could see my success. You can catch the bunny. And once you've caught the bunny, you have that experience, that result, and that skill for the rest of your life. Creating a podcast has been a little bit awkward. I am so grateful for the women, all women, who shared their experience in podcasting with me. I am particularly grateful for the podcast journey, for doing the hand holding, the feedback, the editing, the publishing, etc. on this. And it's been awkward. In a few years, I'll look back on this episode and be like, what happened? Nicole, you were all over the place, having breakthroughs on the recording and leaving them on the recording. What are you doing? And right now, this is my bunny. So what is your bunny? What are you building towards that maybe other people can't see? Maybe they can. Keep going. Because like my dog Lakritz, you will catch the bunny. You'll know you can catch bunnies. And then you're going to start going after squirrels. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Celebrate Brave podcast. If you're ready to build your brave, to live a life you love, and create a career that matters to you, reach out. Together, we can spend time one-on-one to explore how I can help you. And until then, share this episode with people in your life, people who can join our movement to redefine brave, how we identify it, experience it, and celebrate it.